Okay, let's just jump right in. You know that feeling, right? Standing there, staring into a closet it's packed, full, maybe even overflowing. And yet, somehow, you'd feel like you have absolutely nothing to wear. It's this bizarre thing we do almost every day.
It really is. So many options, supposedly. But it adds up to frustration, doesn't it? Or just overwhelm.
Exactly, overwhelm. And you think, okay, it's just clothes, it's a small moment. But is it? Really? How much mental energy are you spending right there? That feeling of, I don't know what fits or what matches or what even feels right today kind of sets the mood for the whole morning, maybe the whole day.
It absolutely does. And what we're going to really dig into today, based on all this great material we've looked at, is how this is so much more than just, fabric and thread.
Right.
There's this surprising, really powerful link between what you put on your body and how you feel inside, in your mind, in your spirit even.
So this deep dive isn't just about looking good, is it? It's about finding something deeper, finding real joy in this simple act we do every single day.
Precisely. And it's amazing how common that closet stare experience is. You look at all those clothes, things that should represent choice and possibility.
Yeah, do it tangibly.
And instead it just triggers stress or maybe a feeling of lack somehow. And it's not just a little annoyance. It's this daily brush with what some call the unexpected weight of our wardrobe.
The weight of our wardrobe.
Yeah.
I like that. It feels heavy sometimes, literally and figuratively.
It does. And it often starts with just the sheer amount of stuff most of us have collected. Trends change, our bodies change, jobs change, life changes.
And the clothes just they pile up.
They pile up. And that sheer volume creates what some describe as visual noise. Picture it standing in front of that crowded, maybe disorganized closet. Your eyes are darting around different colors, textures, styles, all crammed together. Things you haven't worn in ages, things that don't fit anymore. Maybe stuff with tags still on.
Oh, the tag's still on guild pile.
Exactly. It's
Right.
it's a lot for your brain to take in visually. And like actual noise, that visual noise creates mental clutter. Your brain's working overtime just trying to sort through it.
Mental clutter, yes.
Yeah.
It's like your closet becomes this physical inbox overflowing with decisions you haven't made. Unworn sweaters shouting at you, pants that don't fit judging you.
That's a perfect analogy. It's a constant low-level hum of things needing attention, needing decisions. And that clutter, that noise, leads straight into something called decision fatigue.
Ah, decision fatigue. I've heard of that.
It's a real thing. Basically, your ability to make good decisions gets worse the more decisions you have to make. And for a lot of us, the very first big batch of decisions we face is in the closet.
Right at the start of the day.
Yep. Should I wear this? Does this go with that? Is this warm enough? Is it too formal? Does it make me feel good? All these questions, boom, first thing. You're using up precious mental energy, your willpower, before you've even properly started your day.
And it's not only the choosing, is it? There's something about the physical space itself. A messy closet making for a messy mind.
Absolutely. There's a really strong connection there. Our external environment deeply influences our internal state. I mean, think about it's hard to feel calm and focused if you're surrounded by chaos, right?
Definitely.
Your wardrobe is one of the most personal spaces you interact with daily. So if it's chaotic, it's not just messy to look at, it's actively contributing to this sort of subtle background hum of anxiety or stress. You might not even notice it consciously after a while.
You just get used to it. That little bit of stress getting dressed becomes normal. You don't even question how it might be affecting your energy or your outlook for the rest of the day.
Exactly. We get accustomed to feeling vaguely dissatisfied or slightly overwhelmed by our clothes. Maybe we brush it off thinking it's silly or superficial to care so much. But the point is, this isn't just about fashion. It's about recognizing how this daily ritual impacts our fundamental sense of well-being. And crucially, the answer isn't always just buying more clothes to fill those gaps or chase the next trend.
Right, that often just adds to the pile.
It usually does. The suggestion is more about a shift in mindset, a different approach altogether, moving towards intentionality.
Okay, so the chaotic closet is the problem. It's draining us. Let's flip it. How does clothing connect to our inner world in a positive way? How can it actually empower us? Let's talk about that psychological connection.
Okay, yes. This is where it gets really interesting. There's this concept called enclothed cognition.
Enclothed cognition.
Okay.
Tell me more.
It sounds a bit academic, but it's basically the idea, backed by quite a bit of research, that the clothes we wear aren't just passive coverings. They can actually influence how we think, how we feel, even how we perform certain tasks.
Wow.
It works through two things, really. The symbolic meaning we attach to the specific types of clothing and the physical experience of actually wearing them.
So like the clothes act as signal or triggers for our brain, nudging us based on what we associate with them.
That's a great way to put it. Think about the classic example, a doctor's white lab coat. Research has shown that wearing something strongly associated with carefulness and attention, like that lab coat, can actually improve performance on tasks requiring focus.
Compared to just wearing normal clothes.
Compared to normal clothes, or even wearing, say, a painter's smock, which is physically similar but doesn't carry that same symbolic weight of scientific precision. So it's not just the garment itself, it's the meaning we collectively or personally give it. When you put on clothes with a strong symbolic value, you can start to internalize those qualities.
That's fascinating. It's like literally dressing for the mindset you want, and it can actually help create it.
It can nudge you in that direction, yes. And one really practical way this plays out every day is through color psychology.
Colors and mood.
Exactly. Different colors have pretty strong links to emotions. You know, cool colors like blues and greens often make us think of calm, stability, nature.
Like the ocean or a forest. Very calming.
Right. So wearing those might help you feel a bit more centered or peaceful. Then you have the warm, vibrant colors. Yellows, oranges, reds. They tend to evoke feelings of joy, energy, excitement, vitality.
So popping on a yellow sweater might genuinely brighten your mood.
It absolutely can. It's not magic, but it's a nudge. So think about it. If you're feeling a bit scattered or stressed, maybe reaching for something in a deep blue or a calming green could help ground you a little.
Or if it's a gray Monday morning and you need a boost, maybe that bright orange scarf is the answer.
Precisely. You can consciously use your wardrobe as a tool. Choose colors that align with the mood or the energy you want to cultivate for the day. A soft pastel if you want to feel calm and approachable. A bold, vibrant color if you need to tap into some energy and confidence. It's a simple, actionable way to use this enclosed cognition idea.
Okay, and what about confidence? That's a big one. How does what we wear feed into feeling self-assured?
Confidence is so tied up with how we see ourselves, our self-perception, and, yeah, probably also how we think others see us. And clothing plays a huge role here.
How so?
Well, when you wear clothes that fit you well, that feel physically comfortable, and that genuinely feel like they reflect your personality, you naturally feel better about yourself. It's almost automatic. That feeling gives you a boost in self-esteem, which then shows up as confidence.
So it's about authenticity, finding your own style, not just copying trends.
Absolutely crucial. It's not about what Vogue says in this month. It's about figuring out what makes you feel good, what makes you feel comfortable in your own skin, what feels like the most genuine expression of you. When you nail that, when you feel authentic in your clothes, you project confidence because you're not performing, you're just being. And that authenticity is powerful. People pick up on it.
It's like an internal alignment radiating outwards.
Exactly. And this connects to the idea of power dressing.
Which isn't just about shoulder pads anymore, right?
Definitely not. Though maybe they're coming back, who knows. But no, power dressing now is much broader. It's about intentionally choosing clothes that make you feel capable, strong, ready for whatever the situation demands. It could be a sharp suit for a presentation, sure. But it could also be your favorite perfectly worn-in jeans and t-shirt that make you feel grounded and ready to tackle a creative project.
Like putting on a uniform for the role you need to play that day.
Sort of, yeah. Someone described it beautifully as like donning a suit of armor. Not literal armor, obviously, but clothes that help you mentally step into that mindset where you feel effective, self-assured, ready. You're dressing for success by feeling successful and capable internally, and the clothes amplify that.
I know that feeling. There are definitely certain outfits, maybe a specific jacket, or even a pair of shoes that just make you stand a bit taller, feel more prepared.
That's it, exactly. That's enclosed cognition at work. The clothes are influencing your posture, your mindset, your readiness. And this ties into the broader role of self-perception, too. Our clothing choices often reflect what's going on inside.
How do you mean?
Well, if you're feeling good about yourself, feeling confident, you might naturally gravitate towards clothes that mirror that maybe brighter colors, better fit, things you really love wearing.
Yeah, you want to express that feeling.
Right. But conversely, if you're feeling low, insecure, maybe a bit down, you might find yourself reaching for things that help you blend in. Baggy clothes, dark colors, things that don't draw attention, almost like a subconscious desire for camouflage.
So it's a cycle. How you feel affects what you wear, and then what you wear reinforces how you feel.
It's definitely a two-way street, a dynamic loop. But, and this is really important, while clothes can be a powerful enhancer of confidence and positive feelings.
We can't create it from scratch.
Exactly. They're not a magic fix if the underlying self-image isn't healthy. Cultivating self-acceptance and a positive view of yourself is the real foundation. Clothes then become this wonderful tool to amplify that, to express it, rather than something you use to try and hide or compensate for insecurity.
Okay, that makes sense. So we've got the problem, the overwhelming closet.
Yeah.
And we've got the potential, clothes connecting to mood and confidence. How do we bridge that gap? How do we get from the stress to the joy? It sounds like clearing the decks is the next step.
That's exactly it. This is where intentional wardrobes, things like capsule wardrobes and the whole act of decluttering become really powerful. These aren't just about organizing, they're tools for psychological change.
So a capsule wardrobe isn't just about having like 30 items total.
Not necessarily, although that's one interpretation.
Yeah.
At its core, it's about redefining your relationship with clothes, moving away from impulse buys, chasing trends, just accumulating stuff, and shifting towards simplicity, clarity, purpose. Every single piece needs to earn its keep. It needs to fit, you need to love it, and it needs to work for your actual life.
Less about restriction, more about intention, like building a highly effective team of clothes.
That's a fantastic way to think about it. A cohesive, versatile collection where everything works together and makes you feel good. And decluttering is the partner to that. It's more than tidying. It's this symbolic act of reclaiming control over your space, yes, but also over your mind.
Because the physical clutter mirrors the mental clutter.
Precisely. By simplifying the physical your wardrobe, you're directly helping to clear the mental pathways too.
So what are the concrete psychological wins from doing this? From simplifying?
Oh, they're huge. First off, a massive reduction in that decision fatigue we talked about. Imagine fewer, better choices. Clothes that fit, that you like, that mostly go together. Choosing an outfit becomes quick, easy, stress-free. You get back those minutes of just staring blankly.
You mentioned nearly 17 minutes a day on average. That's insane.
It's shocking, isn't it? That's almost 2 hours a week. Getting that time back, but maybe more importantly, getting that mental energy back right at the start of your day, that's a game changer.
Definitely. What else?
Increased confidence. When you're not constantly second-guessing your outfits, feeling like nothing works, comparing yourself, that negative self-talk cuts down. You start to develop a clearer sense of your actual personal style, what feels authentic to you now. And that confidence builds every time you put on an outfit that feels right, that feels like you.
And just the relief of dealing with the clutter itself.
Oh, absolutely. Clutter is stressful. Walking into an organized space where everything belongs in everything is something you genuinely like or use. It's calming. You shed that low-level guilt about the unworn stuff, the money wasted, the fantasy self-clothes.
The clothes for the life you thought you'd have, maybe.
Exactly. Letting go of those is incredibly freeing. It anchors you in your present reality, what actually serves you now. It's like dropping emotional baggage along with the physical stuff.
It really sounds like a powerful form of self-care.
It truly is. And this focus on intentionality, on stripping away the excess to find what really matters and feels authentic, that mindset can start to seep into other areas of your life too. It becomes a practice in conscious living, not just conscious stressing.
Okay, but let's tackle some potential pushback. When people hear capsule wardrobe or decluttering, they might picture something, well, boring, like all beige everything.
Yeah, that's a huge myth. That an intentional wardrobe has to be minimalist to the point of blandness, that it means wearing the same 3 plain outfits forever.
Right.
That's just not true. A curated wardrobe can be bursting with personality. It's about intentional personality. Maybe you have fewer items, but they include a killer blazer in your favorite color, or a beautifully patterned skirt you adore, or amazing accessories. The point isn't eliminating flair. It's making sure the flair you do have is chosen consciously, reflects you, and works hard within your wardrobe.
So curated doesn't mean boring. It means chosen with purpose.
It's exactly personalized and purposeful. Another myth is that it's super expensive. People think, oh, I have to buy all new high-quality basics. And yes, the philosophy often encourages investing in better quality pieces that last longer. But think long-term. You stop the constant churn of buying cheap, trendy fast fashion that falls apart. You stop impulse buys. You stop buying things just because they're on sale. Over time, you actually spend less because you're buying thoughtfully, maybe shopping secondhand for quality and choosing pieces you'll wear for years.
Less quantity, more quality, leading to savings eventually.
Right. And it's not just for certain types of people. They're not just for minimalists or artists or people with specific office jobs.
Adaptable.
Totally adaptable. Whether you're a busy parent needing practicality, a student working from home in a creative field, a corporate field, doesn't matter. It's about building a wardrobe that works for your actual life, your real needs, your personal style. Anyone seeking more clarity and less stress can benefit.
Okay, let's circle back to the decluttering process itself. You said it's more than tidying,
Sure.
like cognitive hygiene.
Yes, cognitive hygiene. Think about it. Reducing the visual clutter in your closet literally reduces the amount of information your brain has to process every time you open the door. It lowers the cognitive load. It's like closing a bunch of tabs you had open in your mental browser.
Freeing up bandwidth.
Exactly, which leads to better focus, less background stress. But then there's the emotional side, which is often the harder part.
Confronting the clothes tied to memories or past selves.
That's the big one. Clothes hold memories, don't they? That dress from a first date, the suit from a job you hated, the jeans that fit before kids or before a health issue, clothes from happy times, clothes from sad times. Decluttering forces you to physically handle these items and the feelings they bring up, and deciding to let go of something tied to a painful memory or an unrealistic expectation or a past self that no longer exists, that's an act of self-compassion. It's saying, I accept who I am now. You're making space, physically and mentally, for your present self.
That sounds intense, but potentially very healing.
Yeah.
Processing things through objects.
It really can be. And it also makes you face your relationship with consumerism head on. As you sort, you inevitably see the impulse buys, the sale mistakes, the things bought for a life you don't actually live.
Oof, yes. The evidence is right there.
Right. Recognizing those patterns is the first step to changing them. Moving towards more mindful, intentional purchasing in the future. Choosing things that truly represent you and serve your life, not things driven by ads or fleeting desires.
And you mentioned the idea of the wardrobe as an extended self.
Yeah, that comes from psychological theories about how our possessions become part of our identity. Our clothes are arguably the most visible extension of ourselves we present daily. So editing your wardrobe is, in a way, editing your identity narrative. You're choosing which parts to keep, express, and feel good about, and which parts to release. A curated wardrobe that feels authentic actively supports a positive self-image because it reflects who you are right now.
And there's a sustainability angle too, isn't there? Less buying, more thoughtful choosing.
Absolutely crucial. When you shift towards mindfulness, intentionality, valuing quality over quantity, you naturally consume less fast fashion. It's a very practical way to live more sustainably, reduce textile waste, and maybe support more ethical brands if that aligns with your values. It connects your daily habits to bigger picture concerns.
Okay, so we've cleared the path, understood the benefits of simplifying. But what if you've just lost the spark?
Yeah.
What if getting dressed feels like a chore, not a joy? Lots of people feel that way, right?
Oh, incredibly common. And it happens for so many reasons. Life changes can just extinguish that little flame of interest in clothes or style.
Like what kind of changes?
Well, things like the intense pressure of grad school, someone mentioned, just being too stressed and focused to care about anything frivolous like clothes, or the big shift to working from home during the pandemic. Comfort became king, the lines blurred, and the motivation to get dressed often vanished.
Right. Pajama pants become workwear.
Exactly. Then there's parenthood. Suddenly your time, energy, money, everything is focused on the kids, including their cute little wardrobes, and your own takes a distant back seat. Or having a job with a strict uniform, or one where your clothes just get ruined daily.
Like the person whose job involved getting bodily fluids on them regularly. Hard to feel fashionable then.
Very hard. Or navigating mental health struggles. Sometimes just the basic act of choosing clothes can feel overwhelmingly difficult when you're dealing with depression or anxiety. Your energy is just gone.
So life happens, and style goes out the window.
It often does. It gets pushed way down the priority list. But the really hopeful message is that people can find that joy again. It's not necessarily lost forever. There are concrete things you can do to reconnect.
Okay, so how do you start if you're in the can't be bothered phase? Where do you begin?
The consistent advice is start small, really small. Don't try to do a massive overhaul overnight. Maybe just commit to wearing one intentional item this week. like a favorite scarf or digging out a piece of jewelry you haven't worn, or even just making sure your socks match if that's fallen by the wayside. Tiny, achievable steps. They help build momentum and gently reintroduce the idea of dressing with a little bit of pleasure or purpose. It lowers the barrier.
Small experiments, not a big project.
Exactly. And then try to reframe it as play. See your wardrobe, even in its current state, as a place for low-stakes experimentation. Try putting together combinations you haven't tried before just for fun. See what happens.
Like playing dress up with your own clothes.
Kind of. Look for inspiration online, wherever, but don't just copy. See what sparks something in you, then figure out how to make it yours, fit it into your life. Maybe wander through a thrift store, not to buy, but just to notice colors or textures or shapes that catch your eye. Remind yourself what visual things you enjoy without pressure.
And figuring out your style now seems key. Accepting it might have changed.
Absolutely vital. Your body changes, your lifestyle changes, your tastes change. Let go of who you used to be or who you think you should be. Focus on what you genuinely like and what works for your actual life today.
How do you figure that out if you feel lost?
One really practical tip is to track what you actually wear for a couple of weeks. Just jot it down. It gives you real data on what you reach for, what's comfortable, what's functional. No judgment, just information. Some people find wardrobe apps helpful for visualizing outfits, or even just using a notebook can turn it into a more creative, less stressful process.
Connecting it back to your values also sounds really grounding.
Yes, that's a powerful anchor. If sustainability matters to you, focus on finding pieces that align with that. If individuality is key, look for unique items. If comfort and practicality are non-negotiable for your life stage, embrace that fully. When your clothes reflect your core principles, getting dressed feels authentic and meaningful, not superficial. It's expressing who you are.
And we need to bust the myth that comfort and style are enemies, right?
Oh, completely. Especially now, there are so many options. You do not have to choose between feeling good physically and feeling good mentally about how you look. Find pieces that do both. Even comfy staples like leggings or knitwear can look incredibly chic when styled intentionally. It's about finding that sweet spot.
I love the idea of creating small reasons to dress up.
Like dressing up for Costco.
Yes. That came from real people sharing what worked for them. Give yourself permission to wear something you love just to go get coffee or walk the dog or even just work from home. Dress for yourself, for the sheer pleasure of it. It doesn't need an audience. It's an act of self-respect.
What about getting outside help, like a stylist?
That could be really useful if you feel totally stuck. A trusted friend, a professional stylist, even a color analysis can offer a fresh perspective, help you see possibilities you missed. And if you have creative hobbies like sewing or knitting, integrating those can be amazing, creating unique pieces that perfectly reflect you.
And taking photos. Just for yourself. Another great practical tip. Quick mirror selfies of outfits that feel good. It helps you see objectively what works, track your progress, and creates a personal lookbook for days you feel uninspired. It reinforces the positive feelings when you see yourself looking put together in a way that feels like you.
Okay, so these are fantastic practical strategies rooted in real experience. Does the more formal research back this up? Does science confirm this link between clothes, mood, and confidence?
It absolutely does. The personal stories align really well with findings from psychology, consumer behavior, that sort of thing. Research consistently shows that our clothing choices genuinely impact our mood, our confidence levels, our behavior, even cognitive function, that includes cognition idea we talked about.
And specific things like color, fit, style, they all matter.
Yes, studies look at those specific attributes, color, fit, style, texture, even how well-maintained clothes are, and find they evoke different psychological responses. And the symbolic meaning is huge, too.
The meaning we attach to the clothes.
Tremendously important. Whether that meaning comes from culture, personal history, branding, the context, it all plays a role in how clothes affect us psychologically. It's not just the physical item.
But the research also says it's not a one-size-fits-all effect, right? It depends on the person.
That's a really important nuance. How much your clothes affect you depends on individual factors. Personality traits matter, for example. One study suggested people higher in openness to experience might be more likely to adopt a creative, less conventional style.
And that linked to how they felt about themselves.
Yes, in that particular study, embracing that more individualistic style was linked to feeling more confident about their bodies and less concerned with using clothes to hide or camouflage themselves. Which makes sense. If you're comfortable expressing yourself outwardly, it often correlates with more internal comfort.
So self-esteem and body image play a massive role.
Huge. If you have a healthier self-image and body acceptance, you're likely to feel good in more types of clothes and use them more for expression, whereas body dissatisfaction often leads to choices aimed at concealment. Other factors the research mentions include cultural norms, age, gender identity, peer pressure. They all shape our choices and the meaning we find in clothes. And socioeconomic status, too, access to options matters. So yes, clothing is a powerful tool, but its impact is very personal, shaped by who we are and the context we're in.
Okay, so let's bring it all together. We've gone from closet chaos to understanding the psychology, the power of decluttering, finding joy again, and the science behind it. What's the ultimate payoff here? Why go through this process of being more intentional with our clothes? It's clearly more than just looking nice.
Way more. There are really tangible benefits. First, saving time. Getting back those 17 minutes a day, potentially over 100 hours a year, that's significant.
And saving money, too, counterintuitively.
Yes, in the long run. Buying less, buying better, avoiding impulse buys and fast fashion churn, it adds up to real savings over time. Value over volume.
Plus the sustainability benefit.
Exactly. Consuming less, choosing more consciously, it's a direct way to live more lightly on the planet, reduce waste, maybe support more ethical practices.
And then the internal benefits, which seem the most profound. The well-being aspect.
Absolutely. Less stress, less anxiety from the clutter, both visual and mental. A greater sense of calm and control in your daily routine because getting dressed isn't a battle anymore.
Which leads straight to more confidence.
Yes. Feeling more authentic, more capable, more you in different situations because your clothes are supporting you, expressing you, not hindering you or making you feel inadequate. They become an ally.
And finally, it becomes a channel for self-expression.
A really powerful one. Using your wardrobe as this dynamic canvas to show who you are, what you value, how you feel. It's a way to communicate your identity both to yourself and to the world, reinforcing your sense of self.
Wow. This has been such a fascinating deep dive. Starting from that really common frustration in front of the closet and tracing it all the way to our inner lives, our confidence, our well-being. It really does seem like finding joy in getting dressed is not only possible, but it's a genuinely valuable journey of self-discovery and self-care.
It really is. When you become intentional about your wardrobe, when you clear out what doesn't serve you and focus on what does, you're doing so much more than just organizing fabric. You're actively building confidence, slashing daily stress, aligning your actions with your values, and giving yourself permission to show up as your authentic self.
So the big takeaway seems to be your wardrobe isn't just stuff. It's this incredibly powerful, dynamic tool. It can amplify the best parts of you, help you navigate your day feeling more grounded, more confident, and yeah, genuinely more joyful.
So here's something to think about, maybe as you wrap up listening to this deep dive. What if tomorrow morning you made just one small intentional choice about what you wear? Just one. Maybe one item that makes you feel just a tiny bit better, or more capable, or more like you. Or maybe just less stressed than yesterday. How could that single conscious choice, that tiny act of putting care into how you present yourself for yourself, shift the feeling of your entire day? And then what could happen if you started harnessing that power intentionally, day after day?
Something to definitely consider as you get dressed tomorrow.
We'll be back soon with another deep dive exploring the things that matter to you.